Welcome to our virtual Child Abuse Prevention Month webinar. We're going to talk a little bit about last year's Child Abuse Prevention Month and our plans going forward for 2021. So these are our webinar goals. We'll tell you a little bit about the history of CAP Month, provide an overview of last year's and discuss this year's. Talk about some methods and provide examples, define the pinwheel framework, and provide information about Kansas Children's Service League's role during CAP Month. Rochelle took this picture, this one, oh, it does have her watermark on it. You probably can't see it. She took it last year somewhere, probably last summer, I guess, because it's sunflowers in the extended COVID world of CAP Month. So a little bit about the history. In 1976, Kansas was the first state chapter for Prevent Child Abuse America. At that point, it was the Kansas Committee for Child Abuse, for the Prevention of Child Abuse. And there was a national committee, and the national committee decided that states needed to have their own chapters. And so Kansas was actually the very first. So this is the 45th year for Child Abuse Prevention Month. And if you've come to the Governor's Conference, which is another part of my job, you'll know that this fall we'll have the 45th Annual Governor's Conference. So Kansas Children's Service League became the chapter in 1993 when they merged with the Kansas chapter of Prevent Child Abuse. So the same with CAPTA. CAPTA became, which is the Child Abuse Prevention and Treatment Act. CAPTA became active in 1976. And in 1983, then President Ronald Reagan deemed April to be Child Abuse Prevention Month. So we have since recognized this month in April. So we have some 2020 reviews and highlights. 2020 was kind of an interesting year. I'm sure you would all agree. I think Rochelle's photo here sums it up the best. Love is 6 feet apart. This was in Lawrence, I think, Rochelle. Somewhere in Lawrence. Rochelle lives in Lawrence, so she went out and did some pictures where we could be socially distant in the month of April. I will say that despite it all, we had some really good outreach and we had some really good creativity throughout not just April, but then on into the summer, which was fantastic because we all know that child abuse prevention is really a year-round activity. We just tend to spotlight it a little bit more in April. So we did send out 157 letters to the editor. We got responses back from 7 newspapers that they were printed. That doesn't mean that the other ones weren't printed. That just means that those 7 let us know. And then we had 12 proclamations. The governor did not sign a state proclamation last year. They had suspended it in April of 2020, even just doing them privately. So she did not sign one, but we did have one signed here in Sedgwick County and the city of Wichita. And a lot of the CASAs out west had quite a few signed as well. Just a few pictures that we had. This is our Iola office down, the windows from our Iola office. This was their very first year open, so they were pretty excited for Child Abuse Prevention Month. And they still decorated, and somebody painted their windows, one of the staff down there. And then I think it's CASA of the 31st Judicial District that's out west. They did a pinwheel garden in Meade, and I think that was in June. And then they also did the one at the Ashland Library, and then one at a home child care in Greensburg. And then we just had some others. These are pinwheels in my front yard because I was trying to take some different pictures. And then the Dodge City Hall, CASA had planted a small garden there as well. So we had some good creativity and some good recognition. Just a little bit beyond the month of April, which again is great. And then I received these two Wear Blue Day pictures. I have no idea who these beautiful women are, but they were really striking, and so I decided to share them. I don't know where they came from. If it's you or someone that you know, if you'd put in the chat box to let me know, that would be great. But I just thought I'd share them because I thought they're kind of fun and cheerful. So that was 2020. We're going to talk a little bit about 2021. We received the toolkit from the Prevent Child Abuse America national group, and their theme this year is Growing a Better Tomorrow for Children Together. So we will have the different banners, the different posters, and all of that available in the toolkit as we move forward. That toolkit should be available on our website March 5th. I think that this is a really easy theme. I think it allows a lot of creativity and a lot of different projects that you could do. We're looking at, we have some grant goals that there'll be 25 different counties during 2021. I'm not going to limit it to April because again, as we're moving forward through April, I know that we're still really concerned about the social distancing and large group gatherings. So I think that it's all right to plan a Child Abuse Prevention Month event in June around Father's Day, or in May around Mother's Day, or someplace else. You know, if you do have a 4th of July parade that you want to use pinwheels in, something along those lines, I think that's great. I think that growing theme is really easy and fun to use in Kansas as we look at springtime planting and whatnot. And then again, additional events throughout the year are always important. We do different things. Well, we have done different things in the past throughout the year, such as movie screenings or different trainings. And I would encourage you, as we start to live in a post-COVID world, to think of some of those as well. We will again do letters to the editor. The proclamation signing will be part of the toolkit. When you download it from the toolkit, it's a PDF format. If you want it in a Word document so you don't have to retype it, just shoot me an email and let me know, and I can send it to you in a Word document. That keeps you from having to retype it when you send it in to either your county or your city government. And if you need some help composing that email, if you've never done it before, just let us know. I do it every year. I've sent one to the state. I haven't heard back, and I've sent one to the city of Wichita and to Sedgwick County both. The city of Wichita will sign it. They're not letting the public attend meetings in person, so we won't get the opportunity to go and talk, but they'll still read it, and their meetings are all broadcast, so people will still see it and hear it. And then again, we know that child abuse prevention really needs to happen year round, so we encourage you to continue a campaign throughout the year, as I'm sure most of you do in the work that you do. So again, some of the different campaign components, like I said, the toolkit will be available on the KCSL website. It will have the proclamations, it will have different talking points. Prevent Child Abuse America has come up with an entire social media campaign as well that our marketing department will probably use, and you are free to retweet or share on Facebook, as well as develop some of your own and let us know so we can do the same. It's important that that we tag each other so we can reshare and retweet as needed. We have pinwheels. They're in our garage. They, again, are $1 a piece, and we have bulk pricing orders for over 500 and over 1,000. We do have the lapel pins. We have the coloring sheets and the paper pinwheels. Those will both be on the website toolkit. Those are both free. I would ask that you, because our staff here is kind of working a hybrid schedule. So I would ask that when you make an order, especially if it's a large order for pinwheels, that you give us at least a couple weeks in advance to get that ready to send out to you. If you're far away and you're going to be in Wichita for any reason and you want to pick it up, we're happy to make that happen as well. So again, like I said, the toolkit should be up on the website by March 5th. The social media tag this year is Growing Better Together. And then Wear Blue Day this year is a little bit different. It's Thursday, April 1st, because Friday, April 2nd is Good Friday. So we're doing it Thursday, April 1st. So make sure that you're taking pictures for wearing blue. If you are taking them together and you all have a blue face mask, that's fantastic. But again, we are really encouraging you to be socially distant and keep yourselves safe. We know that we're all seeing a downward trend in the COVID numbers. So I don't want to be a super spreader, nor do I want you to be one. So keep that in mind. And, I think that you could be really creative with your whole Wear Blue Day. You can maybe do a mask. We used to do a blue dessert contest, which obviously we're not going to do that again this year, sadly. But you could do a design a mask contest or something like that if you're in an office, or even if you're not in an office, but you want to do something, with your office mates via Zoom.
Pam, I have a question on the Wear Blue Day.
Yes.
Have you heard of anybody else that's doing it on other days, or are we all just kind of still going with the first? What kind of has been the feel about that?
I haven't heard anybody saying they're going to do it on any other days. This is just what Prevent Child Abuse America had sent out to us. Okay. I think if people want to do it on a different Friday, I mean, I don't care if you want to do it on Friday, April 2nd. I think that's fine within your own organization. I just know that Prevent Child Abuse America wouldn't pick that day in particular because it is Good Friday. But I think if you want to do it on a different day, I think that's fine. We had talked at one point about having, every Friday in April should be Wear Blue Day or whatnot. So I think however you want to do that within your own agency is great. And I hope that you'll post us pictures.
Awesome. Thank you.
And again, here, the paper pinwheels, these are printable off of our website. We've used them for a variety of different things. You're welcome to use them if you want to use them as a fundraiser, if you just want to recognize kids that you serve or families that you serve or your own kids, however you want to do it, you're welcome to do that. We have talked lots in the past about, trying to approach a grocery store chain to do this, and we haven't had much interest. So if you have a local partner that will support you in the selling of paper pinwheels and hanging them up, I say go for it. But again, we really do like the pictures to see and the ideas that you come up with to share across the nation. We do have the bookmarks available, and these are also available in Spanish if you're interested. And then just a few reminders in regards to the pinwheel, and remembering that when we talk about pinwheels, we talk about a general statement of support. We want to talk about healthy child development. We want to talk about families that we've served. We don't ever want to equate our pinwheels for death or fatalities or child abuse cases. We're really trying to use that frame around the pinwheel that, childhood is something that we should be celebrating, and the pinwheel kind of reminds us of some of the different freedoms and some of the fun in regards to being a child. I know that last year when we had, obviously we didn't have the opportunity to do some of the larger pinwheel gardens. Some of our Healthy Families programs use their pinwheels when they did some porch drops for parents, and they dropped them off for kids. So parents could plant them in their yard and the kids could have them. And that was a great idea as well. I think somebody used them for a parade at one point. So again, those things are great. We in the past had always planted a pinwheel garden at the Wichita State Child Development Center. And this year, I think they were closed during April, so we didn't do it this past year. I think in 2021, we're going to reach out and ask them, well, we might not come as a group and do it. We're going to ask if they will allow their parents and a child to plant one on their way out the door during the month of April. And then there is a memorandum of agreement that says you'll use the pinwheels with the correct frame and with the Pinwheels for Prevention logo. We signed one of those nationally, and so our national office requires us to set those out with pinwheel orders. We still have we will again do what we refer to as our anniversary kit. It was $40 for the pinwheels and the sign. I don't know if we have any wristbands left, but I do have some small buttons that just have a pinwheel on them that we would probably sub in place for the wristbands, and a few odds and ends of other things. And again, the Community Resource Library order form will be available in the toolkit or on our website. You can use that to order. You can scan it back in and email it to resourcelibrary@kcsl.org. You can fax it to us. Oh, no, you can't. I don't think we have a fax anymore. I probably should have taken that off there. You can email the resource library, or you can give us a call. You can call Kim Osborne, who has handled our Child Abuse Prevention Month supplies for a number of years now. So, and again, we ask that you allow us 2 weeks for shipping, especially if it's a large order. And then PCAA has a digital advocacy day during April. I want to say, I think it's Thursday, April 21st, but I didn't write that down. It's in the toolkit. But we really encourage you to reach out to your legislators during April. Most of our state legislators are home during the month. So if you're having an event where you feel you can do something socially distant and safe and you want to invite them, I would encourage you to do that. If nothing else, I would encourage you to drop them a line, write a note, call them, reach out to them just to remind them of what you're doing, your programs, just to remind them that April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and let them know a little bit more about our campaign, about the proclamations, about whatever event you're doing in regards to the month of April or beyond. Like I said, you might be planning more things for the summer than you are for April. And then because this format is a little bit different this year than we've had in the past, and I kind of like it better, I thought maybe we could take this time to share some ideas about what plans you have, what ideas you might like to do. If you have trainings or other things coming up that you want to share, that would be great. I would really encourage you to do so. I know Rochelle has some trainings coming up. Rochelle, tell them when your trainings are.
I don't have the date set yet, but we will be doing quite a bit of training in April, as we always do. We have scheduled trainings with specific groups for their communities. We're always able to do that for those who want to do a child abuse training during April, or an ACEs training, or any of the ones we offer. We will also be scheduling not just mandated reporter training, but also ACEs and resilience during April. And we are also planning to hold for the first time the new Connections Matter curriculum, which we are implementing as part of a new project. So that will be a new training that will be available as well coming up in April.
Does Resilience include the movie?
It will, yes.
So a couple of ideas if you want to do a movie type event, Resilience is a good movie. Paper Tigers is a good movie. Happy Valley is a good movie about child sexual abuse. And it's really about child sexual abuse, and then you could frame the prevention piece around it. Happy Valley is about the Penn State child sexual abuse that has happened. There's some other new ones out there I don't remember. I don't think I've watched any of them. I know that I had some of our staff that talked about, because we couldn't necessarily do things in person, making some short, fun videos that we would post to YouTube, either like make your own pinwheel, or perhaps with the new theme, planting, doing some planting. I have spent many years as a camp counselor, and one of the things that we did was we made what we called hairy egg people. And so you crack the top off your eggshell and you wash it out, and then you put a little bit of dirt in there, and then whatever kind of seed you want, grass seed, cat grass, whatever it might be, draw a face on the eggshell, and then eventually the grass sprouts and it looks like a person. So that might be something kind of fun to do, especially if you have, if you're working with children. Anna, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just thinking, and I don't really belong as me, but me nosy that I am. I was telling Victoria, we belong to Crisis Nursery. Have we ever reached out to any daycares to do their gardens out in front of the daycares that we are under Crisis Nursery?
I can't hear you very well.
Okay, let me now, can you guys hear me? Can you hear me?
A little bit better.
Okay. What I was just thinking, we're trying to target the children. So I know that Emmett's daycare where he goes to, she's been offering to do stuff for KCSL, and she did a picture the other day, but they wouldn't let him because there were so many kids. I was thinking, what if we offer some of the daycares these kids to do pinwheel gardening in front of them, like Adventure, the Wise, and some of the other. Because it's a celebration and kids go to the daycares. I didn't know if we've ever tried that.
We might offer them pinwheels. We wouldn't go and plant them with them this year, just because of the still concerns around social distancing. But we would encourage them to plant. Like I said, with the Child Development Center at Wichita State, we'd probably encourage the parent and the child to plant a pinwheel in a designated space on their way out the door some evening. So I think that would be fine, but I don't know that we want to actually go and host a pinwheel planting anywhere at this point.
No, I was just thinking that I know that Emmett's daycare, they do activities like they bring in the fire and the parents have to be there and do something with them. I was just kind of thinking that maybe I could reach out to some of those people that have, or they would plant their own, like you said, with the parents.
Sure. Is Lori on, Rochelle?
I'm here.
Do you want to talk about, aren't you showing some movies?
Yeah, and I was gonna ask you, Pam, are you guys doing the zoo day?
I have not heard from the zoo. I don't think it's going to happen. They're still pretty limited in their attendance.
Okay. Well, I don't know what we're doing. That's the true answer. We have all kinds of things that we're kind of narrowing it down. I was really kind of waiting to hear after today's meeting, what all here was doing, and then finalize our plans. But we are doing a screening of the film, documentary Rewind, with Sasha Joseph Newlinger, and he's the plan is for him to be here live, and I don't know if we'll do him via Zoom, but he'll be here, or I don't know. We're in talks with the Wind Surge about using their baseball diamond or the drive-in to screen the film that way, so people can be outdoors or socially distanced, and or however that works. So we're still in talks with people to finalize plans on that, but that right now is set for April 30th. we are going to be screening at least one other film in partnership with Junior League of Wichita. We did that last year as well. We did it virtually, and we had over 100 people attend that. So that was a really good event. We've talked about screening a film a week in April. I'm not sure yet if we've totally firmed that up yet, but we'll at least be doing 2. And then as well, like KCSL, I'll be doing some mandated reporter training and some darkness to light trainings. And we now offer that in Spanish. So we'll be offering that to our Spanish partners in April. We'll have last year when we pivoted at the last minute, we did Chalk the Walk and Pinwheels for Prevention, where kids could do it virtually. So they could go online and they could print off the forms, the coloring sheets, or pick them up at free little libraries around town, because we just would put a bunch of the coloring sheets in the free little libraries, and then families could pick those up and color them. And then we just asked them to take pictures like you were talking about, and then post them in their windows of their house. So you could do sort of like a Chalk the Walk, pinwheel scavenger hunt with your kids kind of thing that we promoted. So you could get out and go for a walk and be socially distanced and look for different pinwheels that people either colored or put in their yards. So I think we're going to promote those things again. We have put together the activity calendar for parents to use with their kids, with just different fun activity games that we'll be putting out this year. And I'm happy to share any of this stuff. And then of course, just asking people to do, like you were saying, to share social media posts between agencies, so we can just everybody can expand that message as much as possible. So those are some of the things. We're also maybe going to be selling some t-shirts this year for Wear Blue Day, which we'll probably do every Friday in April. But some Wear Blue Day t-shirts. We were trying to, actually, I was on a meeting right before I came onto this meeting about what that might say or what those might look like. So we have a lot of different things kind of going on in April. Really excited about all that, except for I'm going to be very busy with all the trainings. but that's good, because we need that. So that's kind of an overview of what we know right now. I'm trying to look real quick and see if there's anything else. We're doing resilience. We'll do the resilience screening as well. I think that's it right now that we have on our list.
Great. Anybody else have thoughts or questions, or come up with any quick ideas that you'd like to share? We'd love to hear them.
My name is Gary. I do have a clarifying question.
Sure.
So if I understood you correctly, it's okay to display the pinwheels in your yard or in your window of your house?
Absolutely.
Or at your workstation?
Yes.
And so that's primarily to let someone know that you could potentially be a contact person for information? Or is that just to show your support?
I think it could be either one.
Okay.
Lots of times we do a pinwheel base of 5 pinwheels that represent the 5 different protective factors that we know. Of course, as we raise protective factors, we lower risk factors. And we do have that poster in our toolkit as well. So that sometimes when we have people coming in our office, which we still don't really, but we had done that in the past on our reception desk.
Yes.
Or we had delivered them different places, that we had taken one to the governor's office and to City Hall and stuff. So I think
I'm strictly working from home right now, so I don't have any way to display them at my workstation.
Right.
One last question. Are you participating with any churches here in the Wichita area?
We welcome all participants. So I don't have a particular church at this point that I am working directly with. on a personal note, I usually do something with the church that I attend, but we do welcome all participants in the Child Abuse
Okay.
Prevention Month campaign. We just really ask that it be framed around prevention. We don't want
Yes.
it to be framed around. At some point, there was a Blue Sunday that was really framed around more of victims of child abuse, and we're
Wow.
really trying to frame around child abuse prevention.
Okay.
And so while we certainly welcome, we know that our faith-based communities play a huge role in supporting families. We certainly do welcome any of that. And if you have people that have questions, you're welcome to give them my contact information.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
And then that's why, last year I did just some pinwheels in a flower pot on my front porch because it was too early for flowers, but it was also kind of, April was kind of really a downer last year. So it was kind of cheerful and it raised some conversation from people walking by wanting to know why if we were outside or whatnot. So, conversation that we had from a safe 6-foot distance, but conversation nonetheless. So it was kind of fun. Other questions or other ideas of how you might implement the Growing Together campaign within your area?
Hey, Pamela, this is Mike from DECA. And we recently were invited to participate in this call, and we're really glad that we're here. I was talking with Sarah Robinson about Child Abuse Prevention Month, and we're also doing some drug endangered children awareness in April, with Drug and Children Awareness Day being April 28th. And we're in the planning stages also, but we're looking at having a speaker on each one of the Wednesdays during the month from like 10 to 11. And then some question and answer after that, targeted around child abuse prevention, ACEs, positive, children experiences to counter the ACEs. And then on the last day, we're going to have the National Drug Endangered Children folks present on different data that they have for Kansas and also nationally. And then they're going to be launching a new app they have that a mobile app that they're going to be using to help protect children, which will be launched in September. But anyways, I just wanted to throw that out there that we're looking at combining kind of both months, awarenesses, and trying to do something to address that all. We're also possibly looking at doing like a panel or kind of webisodes or podcasts where we could feature, different agencies around the state and talk about what they're doing and what they're experiencing and challenges and positives and successes, and doing short webcams or webisodes, like I said, or podcasts, and then broadcasting those. And then the speakers on Wednesdays, we're looking at live streaming those on Facebook. And so that we can, get it out there, and not only just for Kansas, but since National DECA is involved, we're going to be kind of going a little bit broader than that and inviting some different DECA alliances from different states. So I'm just picturing kind of this all melting kind of together a little bit and promoting both at the same time, since drug endangered children are, also, part of the child abuse prevention, because it all kind of falls under the same umbrella.
That's great. If you can, if you'll send me the dates and the speakers,
Sure.
That would be great. We would like to have that information so we
Sure.
can
And
share
we'll
it
definitely
also.
share like all the stuff you were sharing today with your hashtags and your links and different things like that, because we're going to be putting together some like items for Instagram and our Facebook page and our YouTube channel and different things like that. So we can just kind of include them both together.
Great. And I can connect you with our marketing and communications staff if needed. So
Okay. That would be wonderful.
Yeah. Anybody else? Kind of some new voices this year. This is good. As you go through and think about some planning ideas, if you have questions, again, just let me know, or if you feel like you came up with a great idea and you'd really like to share it, please let us know so we can go ahead and share things. Rochelle will have the email list from this webinar and we can share as needed. And this webinar is also being recorded. So it will be available if you have staff or whoever that didn't get to see it that would like to watch it. It will be recorded and it will be on the KCSL webpage. So you know.
Hi, Pamela. I'm Daniel Donovan from DECA as well. I just wanted to kind of throw this out there. We're working to, I'm working with Sarah Robinson to reinitiate a local chapter of the Drug Endangered Children Alliance here in the Sedgwick County area. And so piggybacking on what Mike was saying, those we're having those webinars looking to be on the 7th, 14th, 21st, and 28th of April. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, Mike. But we're working to get that alliance started up here in Sedgwick County again. And so anything you'd like to add, or we'd love to have your voice and your experience, or anybody from this group here who has some input, some statistics, things like that to help us kind of ignite this this new alliance as it's being developed. We got a lot of great resources now, but this is a big group I'm talking to right now, and it sounds like a lot of experience and a lot of connection and things like that. Just whatever you can. I'll leave my information in the chat as well, but I'd love to talk with you further to see what we can do to support you and this organization, and what maybe we could have to learn from you and this group as well.
Yeah, if you leave your email in the chat box, that would be really helpful. I have some other projects that I work on that I'd like to connect with you about.
Definitely.
I added my information in the chat box too, if anybody had any questions about anything that I was talking about. Again, our stuff is all kind of in limbo. It's going to be finalized in the next week or so. So I know I sounded kind of like I was all over the place, but that's why, because I'm trying to like wrap my head around it all right now and finalize everything. So let me know if you have any questions.
Thanks, Lori. We do prepare a report that we send to Prevent Child Abuse America, to the Department for Children and Families, and to the Children's Cabinet. DCF and the Children's Cabinet then send that on up the federal level. So we like to include everything that's happened across the state of Kansas, and we like to make sure that we're recognizing all the partners that have been involved in things. So if you're doing things, if you're planning events, April or beyond, please let us know, and let us know everyone that's involved, who you're doing it in collaboration with. It's just been a really good way to put Kansas on the map, so to speak, in regards to the innovation and really the level of which we do work in this state. Another email, there's another email on here, pinwheels@kcsl.org. It will get to me as well, but if you have pictures, it's especially helpful to me if you send them to that email box, because then my own email box doesn't like explode, which it is currently with a variety of other things. There's our KCSL on Facebook and KCSL on Twitter, Growing Better Together or Wear Blue 2021. You can use both of them. We do have an Instagram account. I don't know what it is. Rochelle, do you know what it is? And we have a LinkedIn account. Yeah, I'm not really that great at social media, so we'll find that and include it though as well. Rochelle's good at social media. I'm not. And then Child Welfare Information Gateway always has different resources in regards to Child Abuse Prevention Month. They put out a booklet every April with all the information in it can be used. It's all for the general public. And we are receiving some of those. So once we have them, we'll share that with a group. And if you want some, we can send them out to you. They do them every year. They usually only change every other year, but they do have really good information, both in English and Spanish, and it's all public domain. So you can use that. There is my email and my phone number if you're trying to get in touch with me. And then here's some more, here's our YouTube channel, but again, not our Instagram. I probably need to update that. This last slide. So if you have other questions, feel free to let me know now or send me an email, whatnot. All right, then I guess we'll call it a day and you get 20 minutes of your afternoon back to do some other work. So thanks a lot for joining us, and we will talk to you all soon.